Good morning. Hi team. How are you today? Happy Wednesday. Yay. All right, well, I'm just going to get right into it. Today we are talking about, they're not really the top 8 necessarily because I've read a ton of personal development books. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into the personal development world. There's obviously a ton of books out there, but I'm just going to talk about 8 that have impacted my life in different ways. So yeah, let's just get started. So number 8 is, and I don't think this will come as a shock to many people that know me, but Girls Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. So it's actually a shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals. That's what the actual title of the book is. I did not want to jump on the Rachel Hollis bandwagon, like whatsoever. Hi, Christina. Good morning. So I didn't want to hop on Rachel Hollis's bandwagon. I was like, who's this woman? She's like blowing up. There's, she's loud, she's fun, she's crazy, whatever. But once I got rid of like the judgment that I had around her, I was very pleased and surprised. She had a lot of really good messages and they were really down to earth, very much everyday examples of things that happened. Like she speaks from her heart very much so. And I needed that like connection, like that realness of her. And she really just spoke to me. When I read through her books, I was like, all right, this is really good. She tailors it to women. A lot of her stuff is definitely tailored to the females in the world. However, I think anybody can read this book, no matter how one may identify, and get a lot out of it. So that's my number 8 book. I recommend it. If you're like, no, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Her husband, well, actually her ex-husband now, which was an interesting thing, Dave Hollis, has his own book also. I have not read it, but I have heard really good things about it, and that one's called Get Out of Your Own Way, A Skeptic's Guide to Growth and Fulfillment. So, give those a whirl, see what happens. Let me know how you like them. Number 7 is by Gabby Bernstein, and it is called The Universe Has Your Back. Now, I listen to Audible a lot, but I also love a good hard copy of a book. And with Gabby Bernstein, I tried to listen to her on Audible, and it distracted me from her words. Like I just couldn't listen to her, and I don't know why, if it was like how she was reading or her voice or whatever, but I just was like disconnecting more than I was connecting on that one. So I actually just picked up the book because I wanted to read it, and I'm really glad I did. There was, let's see, I was going to read a quote for you guys. There's a ton of good information in all these. Whoa, here we go. So on page 153, it says, we should be grateful for all situations that make us the most uncomfortable, because without them, we would not know there is something unhealed in us. Boom. There that is. It's really good. This I think of a lot. This actually, just the title jumps out at me all the time. When I feel like I'm resisting something or something's coming up like negatively for me, I'm like, just like let that go, because the universe does have your back. Like each and every single step that you take on a daily basis, the universe is like nudging you. You know, some days it's like a big freaking hurricane wind pushing you towards the right direction. But I really think that if we just kind of let go a little bit, that we'll move in the right way. And so, yeah, this book was awesome. So, highly recommend it. All right, moving on. Number 6. I don't have that one up here. Number 6 is, I actually read it during my yoga teacher training, and I friggin' loved it. So, it's called The Being of Power by Baron Baptiste. The 9 Practices to Ignite an Empowered Life. So the description is that it is about accessing a new kind of power, not just with others, but with yourself, your experiences, your work, your purpose, how you relate to everything in your life. So basically, he gives you tools that allow you to break through the limiting views that have been keeping you stuck, frustrated, and unfulfilled, and expand your perspective to see new pathways, possibilities, and come into your genuine best self now. Who doesn't want that? That's exactly what he delivered in that book too. It was really, really good. So I recommend Baron Baptiste, Being of Power. You don't have to be going through yoga teacher training to read and enjoy that book. All right. Number 5 is Journey to the Heart. I read this book every single day by Melanie Beatty. Okay. By Melanie Beatty. That's what we're going to go with. But it is daily meditations. So that's why I read it every single day. It's broken down like each month, right? And then you have each day within the month. Yeah, it's just awesome. It's just like a little, and I've said this before in here, but it's a little like, I don't know, maybe 3 paragraphs, and sometimes it's a little story that you can probably relate to in a way, and just like a little mantra for the day, like just something to kind of, focus on. For some reason, like if I start my day with it, it just feels like, right. It feels whole. I know that sounds really weird. But they're just like these little blurbs that just get you kind of going and ramped up for the day. So I highly recommend this. I've actually bought this for a few people because I think everybody needs this book in their life. So Journey to the Heart, it's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Number 4. I've read this book like 7 times, just letting you know. So it's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. I've listened to it. I have read it hard copy. I really like on Audible, I like her voice, and her inflections are really funny. Like she kind of gets you into it, and she just seems so freaking personable. Like I just want to go hang out with her as often as possible. So there's 27 chapters, but they're pretty small. She's funny. She swears sometimes. Like she's just blunt. She's great. And she sends an awesome, very powerful message about just stepping into yourself and being a better like human in general. So yeah, You're a Badass, man. It's so good by Jen Sincero. Absolutely pick that one up. All right, the next one I have for you is kind of an oldie but a goodie. And if you're starting anywhere in the personal development realm, I would say to read this book first and foremost. And it's called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So it's based on ancient Toltec wisdom, and the 4 agreements, like, it's very practical. It's very simple. And there's things that you can just take with you on everything. Like, it's a very simple read. You can see it's like kind of larger writing. It's a very short, small book. But the 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Very simple, yet very hard to put into practice on a lot of these. The one that I've worked on more than anything is to not take things personally, to realize that other people are going through all sorts of other stuff, and usually what other people do and say has nothing to do with you. So what others are saying right now, what they're saying under their breath, what they're, I don't know, up in arms about, it doesn't have anything to do with me, but it has to do everything with what's inside their head, and they should probably read some personal development books. Okay, so like I said, if you're going to start anywhere, this is a very easy one, but it's filled with wisdom. So definitely get the 4 agreements here. I have a quote, maybe. Oh, ha! And the quote is, nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. Yep, there that is. That's funny. All right, book number 2 is done by the master, Jim Rohn. It's called The Power of Ambition. This is on Audible. I don't think this book actually exists in hard copy. It's him speaking. And for me, I could listen to Jim Rohn speak all day, every day. Like how he speaks, like his just tone, everything. It's just like, it just draws you in, and it's so good. And literally every line he says is quotable. It's unbelievable what was in this guy's mind. And unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But The Power of Ambition. You guys find it on Audible. Listen to it. It's unbelievable. Let me see if I have a description written down here. Take charge of your own personal happiness, chart your own course through life, and let your legitimate ambition create whatever you desire and take you wherever you want to go. I'm in. I'm down for that. So for me, you guys, I obviously read a lot of books, hard copies, but I also listen to Audible. And usually when I'm in the car, there's days where I'm like, I need music today, because sometimes your soul just needs some music. And then there's days when you need to listen to some sort of personal development. So I don't often listen to the radio, and more times than not, I'm listening to some book on tape, so personal development generally, in my car versus listening to the dribble that the radio DJs are spitting at me. I don't care about listening to any of that stuff. So I try to fill my mind with amazingness. So I highly recommend, if you are driving, even 5-10 minutes in your car, find a book that you like to listen to and listen to that instead. Fill your brain up with some good stuff instead of the dribble that's out there. Okay. And the number one book that, I just love this book. I read it again during teacher training. But then I read it about 2 months after that because I had to take in more of it. It just changed how I thought. So if you guys know me at all, my family, we're a long line of criers. And although I still do cry quite frequently, I cry less than I did before because I'm actively working on the separation from myself, which is the person seeing the things, right? And doing the things and saying the things. So I'm the person watching that happen. That's what this book gets at. And it's called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. Best book ever. It's very philosophical. So it may not be for everybody, I'm not gonna lie, because it does have this philosophical nature to it. That's how my brain thinks. I absolutely adore it. But it helps you to detach. I wish I could explain it, and I probably can. Let me find the description here for you. He explores the question of who we are and arrives at the conclusion that our identity is to be found in our consciousness, the fact of our ability to observe ourselves and the world around us. By tapping into traditions of meditation and mindfulness, Singer shows how the development of consciousness can enable us all to dwell in the present moment and let go of painful thoughts and memories that keep us from achieving happiness and self-realization. Dude, that is exactly what he delivers in this book. It is awesome. It really, just that detachment. So there was, I remember I had just read some of the book, and we were on an airplane going somewhere, and I was watching a movie, and I always, I'll put on a movie, even on an airplane, that I know I'm going to sob during, and I don't know why I do it, but if I really just have a hankering to watch the movie, I'm going to watch the damn movie, right? So I had some movie playing, and I could feel, the tears, starting, if anybody's a crier, you feel it, when it's about to start. And I was able to snap this practice on in my brain. And I was basically, this is a movie. I am watching people acting on a screen. This is not real, right? And it sounds so silly, but for people that get so invested into things that they cry all the time, it really helped just to step away mentally, put up this barrier saying, I'm the person watching these things. I'm the person watching me do this. I'm the person watching me about to cry. And just thinking about that and stepping back from it helped me to not be so emotional over something I didn't necessarily need to be emotional over. Unfreaking believable, you guys. Is awesome. So I have a quote, I think, from this one too. I have a bunch of stuff highlighted here, so let's see. Okay, so the fact remains that you were born and you're gonna die. During the time in between, you get to choose whether or not you want to enjoy the experience. Events don't determine whether or not you're gonna be happy. They're just events. You determine whether or not you're gonna be happy. You do. All right, so those are just, like I said, 8 books. They're not necessarily My top books, some of them have definitely impacted me. Actually, all of them have impacted me in one way or another, but there are others out there. So if you have any good personal development books, will you do me a favor and just put them in the comments? We can all learn, we can all read. Most of us can read, probably. But yeah, let's get our personal development on this week and see where that takes us in our health and wellness journey. So you guys, if you want help on your health and wellness journey, hit me up. You can go to rootdownwellbeing.com. Everything starts with a free wellness profile. We can get you started on the path towards a healthier, active lifestyle. So I love you all. Have a great Wednesday. I will see you back here 8 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, bye.